So we're at 5,600 trophies. I've not played as much as I should have been, but we're here today. I got a lot of time. I'm wearing a Scooby-Doo shirt, and I matched my overlay and everything. It's all pink. I feel like this has to go well, so we're not even going to waste any time. We're just going to go immediately, find an attack. This is going to be the first attack of the video. I'll speed this one up. If this goes bad, it's going in. If it goes well, it's going in. You're going to see it. Let's go find our first base. Here we go. Okay. And this one is... Why does this look so familiar? God, I swear I've seen this before, but I don't know where from. Whatever. It's our first base, and let's go think. So, we could take out... I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to think of a plan. I just don't have one, boys. Alright, let's think. Gotta go Mega Mind here. Where do we get value? We really don't get much value. I mean, I guess if we get on that double cannon, we could take out Roaster, Air Bombs, and that's about it. Okay, so do we just go P.E.K.K.A. Dropship, call it a day? I feel like that's super lazy, but honestly, it's probably the best thing I can do here. This base is not one I've seen before. It's very interesting looking. You know, I bet I could have taken this one down with cannon carts. If I get this again, I'll try cannon carts. But for now, we're just going to go quick, easy, P.E.K.K.A. Dropship, get our first 6-star for the video. And I guess I probably shouldn't be, like, not jinxing myself, but assuming this is going to be a 6-star. But I'm pretty sure there's no shot this isn't a 6-star. So we're going to go take out, I think that double cannon is going to be in range of the Expo. No? Oh, wow, it's going to be in range of that Tesla, though. Hello. Let's go ahead just starting our first dropship there. It's going to tank for the battlecopter a little bit. We'll go, boom, open all that stuff up. And then how about we send in one more dropship. Okay, there's a Tesla. Whatever. We do still have P.E.K.K.A. ability. Hopefully it goes in there and just like hits up everything. Let's go ability, battlecopter ability, dropship ability. And now we have 2 P.E.K.K.A.s for the rest of the base. I think we get this one pretty easily. I'm just going to go ahead and start it all in. There's definitely going to be a Tesla here, right? Yep. There it is, and that's actually in a really smart place because I can't open up the double cannon anymore. So, good Tesla placement, my man. I mean, it's not going to matter. it won't matter, but I mean, it's a cool placement. I like the idea. I really do dig it because that really does kind of mess me up. It's just this strategy is too strong that at this point, there's nothing you can do to mess me up. I do still have 2 P.E.K.K.A. abilities, and maybe this is a good example of why P.E.K.K.As and dropships are broken, because as you may have noticed, I didn't really do any great planning. I got trapped at the very bottom, and we're still getting through this one with 2 P.E.K.K.A. abilities left to rumble with, but that doesn't matter. Let's get to the next stage and see if I can get a 6-star. Alright, we're into the next stage. Let's think here. Double cannon cart could take out Builder Hall, all the zappies, a cannon, and a double cannon. That seems just pretty good to me, I think. And yeah, we're just going to run that actually. So let's just go start from the corner. There were all 3 of the Teslas on the first stage, meaning unless this guy has some like killer push traps, I'm not too worried. Now, this player I believe is one of the top players from Builder Base 1.0. I remember actually back when I was really bad at Builder Base, there was a tournament where I was supposed to face him, and everyone was like, "Oh, he should have crushed you. He's gonna crush you." And he didn't make the tournament or something, like he had some other commitment, but he couldn't make it. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're so lucky." And yeah, so I mean, this guy I'm pretty sure is pretty good at the game too. It's just P.E.K.K.As and dropships are just better. Now I really hope this video I use something other than P.E.K.K.As and dropships. I'm so done with it, and so was every top player, dude. I do not want to explain to you how many times I get DM'd a day by top players saying like, "Dude, you gotta tell Supercell to nerf P.E.K.K.As and dropships." I mean, I already have. I'm trying, boys. I'm really trying, but it's not that simple. Here, I guess we can talk about this. This is a big problem with the builder base. It's just too easy, you know? And that's such a top player thing to say. The game's too easy. But it is. It really just is. I'm getting 6 stars here, minimal planning, and just throwing down troops. But here's where that becomes an issue. It's just too hard for lower level players at like 5,000. They can't get past the first stage a lot of the time, which for us top players, we're just like, how? I mean, you see what I'm doing here, and by that, I mean, you see that I'm doing nothing special at all, and I'm about to go get a 6-star. And it's a very difficult thing. How do you balance something that is too easy for like the 1% of top players, but too hard for like 99% of the other players. Because the solution is not just to make the game harder for everyone, because no one's going to enjoy that. If the game's just too hard, who's going to want to play, you know, except for the top 1% of players, but that is such a small demographic. So alternatively though, the top players are getting a little bit bored. I'll explain more here in a second. I will say I beat him. I got a 6-star, he didn't. Go team. Here we go. What is this base? Okay. How about I'll go continue what I was saying here in a second, but first let's go plan how to take out this base. He has 2 firecrackers, no lava launcher, the ground expo. This really looks like a bad base because we could probably take out an archer tower with 2 cannon carts, another archer tower with 2 cannon carts, and then the air expo and other archer tower with a battle copter, leaving 2 camp space to really just kind of mess around with. I mean, I probably should bring in archers, but I'm gonna bring in Electro-Fire wizards, maybe just so I can like put a clickbait thumbnail. I know that sounds so YouTubery, but you know, I gotta get people clicking here. I mean, no one, I'm telling you, I've tried it before. I would do, unless I'm doing the 6 cannon carts, no one will ever click for cannon carts. So I gotta kind of spice it up a little bit. I gotta add some interest, and I think the Electro-Fire wizards are probably gonna do that for me. So let's go ahead and start the battlecopter. He should take out ground expo and archer tower, and that should leave really nothing on the base. Now, if I remember this base good, there's a lot of just, for no reason, a bunch of ground bombs on the inside. So we're going to try not to let the cannon carts go on the inside. But, I mean, this one looks pretty done. Now, these guard post units, I'm not going to say they're going to be an issue, but they're definitely going to be annoying because they do mess up a lot of cannon cart attacks. But that's all right. We're just going to full send it. No Teslas, please. Thank you. Battlecopter is chilling. He's going to go take out that archer tower. And yeah, so anyway, where was I? So, okay, wait 1 minute. Is that going to take out? It's got to take out the ground expo at least. I'm not worried if the archer tower is still standing. Okay, ground expo's down. So for top players such as myself, it is just boring. You see, I'm doing dumb strategies, right? I'll use a bunch of cannon carts for no reason. I'll use all this, but that's just like the worst thing you could possibly do. Why would anybody want to use such weird strategies if you don't really even have to? Like, I'm using them kind of because I got to. I need to add some content, and right now dropships and P.E.K.K.A.s, they were cool for like a few days, but they're not content anymore. But more than anything, like, why would you really want to use any other strategy if using other strategies is just kind of like a throwing? So everyone's going to be using the same strategies, but then that just makes the game kind of boring. I mean, who wants to really use the same exact strategy every single attack? But that's what's happening now. That's all you can really do. So top players are annoyed because there's 2 issues with that. Let's go to the second stage. There's 2 issues. My whole army is still alive, by the way. I just realized that. Now there is the lava launcher. Okay, we got a plan. We got a plan. I'll get back on my little tangent here in a second, but we're gonna go plan here. I think archers for the giant cannon, archers for the lava launcher should take out everything. We have so many troops. I guess we could try and, no, we can't really swag our whole army here. Unfortunate. We're gonna swag probably like 6 troops though, so why don't we go bring in barbarians and archers? There are 3 Teslas here though. That's something I gotta kind of keep in mind. Let's go starting our first barbarian down there. He's gonna get absolutely hammered by the double cannon and giant cannon. Now we'll go start in the cannon cart. There's our first Tesla. There's our second. Hello, why are you putting Teslas there, guys? If you're trapping a base, just pro tip here, don't put what are these gonna do? No one's gonna attack the builder hall when the lava launcher is defending it. Like, there's no reason to put those there. Now, is there a Tesla over here? No. Okay, so here's where you are gonna attack. Put Teslas where they matter, because they do not matter right there. Okay, that one matters though. Ouch. Okay, good. Only good Tesla in this base is right there. Anyway, where was I? All right, so top players are not just annoyed that they're kind of having to use the same army, because that does get boring, it gets repetitive, but they're more annoyed that people who are, you know, way worse than them, there is a very hard way to really judge skill in the builder base, because you could just use a really good strategy and be good as long as you just understand like a few mechanics. And this is why a lot of top players are confused. Like, how is anybody consider this hard? I mean, you don't really need to work that hard for P.E.K.K.A. dropship to work. You see it happen all the time. In my first attack, you saw I got trapped. P.E.K.K.A. dropship still worked. But I need to sneeze. But for some reason, it's still kind of difficult for a lot of players, so no one really wants to nerf P.E.K.K.A.s and dropships because we don't want to make it harder for the lower level people, but at the same time, top level players are just absolutely crushing each other with them, and it makes it so unfun because it's almost nearly impossible to defend. So it's too easy to attack, it's too hard to defend, and a lot of top players are upset about it. Like here we go, for example. I just used, okay, for one, look at this. We used Hog Gliders, Minions, Baby Dragon, 2 Cannon Carts, Electro-Fire Wizard, 4 Cannon Carts, and then we used 2 Electro-Fire Wizards, 4 Cannon Carts, Archers, baby, whatever. And now we see in my defense log, we're getting attacked with Minions and Dropship, Minions and Dropship, P.E.K.K.A., Minions and Dropship, Cannon Carts. This one's like the only unique attack. P.E.K.K.A.s, Baby Dragons. You see how that went. P.E.K.K.A.s, like... There's no real difference. The only strategies anybody's using right now is going to be P.E.K.K.A.s, Minions and Dropships, and every once in a while you'll see an absolute Giga Chad using Cannon Carts. No one uses anything else because it is just so easy to attack with all these lower skill strategies. Alright, so here we go. We're into a new attack. So I don't really remember how I got onto how easy it is to attack with P.E.K.K.A.s and Dropships. But I want to give you guys a good example of... Oh, wait, do I? Because I can get... I must stay focused because even though there's some ridiculous cannon cart value, I really want to prove a point here. I want to show you guys why it's just so annoying for top players. You see this base. This base, it's scary. Like, this used to be one of the strongest bases until people kind of realized that dropships and P.E.K.K.A.s were overpowered. So, consider this your free dropship guide. We're going to have to try and take down this base here, and what are we going to do? We're just going to pick it apart piece by piece. You got to get down double cannons, the Mega Tesla, the dropship, and this lowered Archer Tower is kind of a concern, and you can't forget the roaster. So, what do we do? Well, first, let's just think, where do we get Battlecopter value? We get some ridiculous Battlecopter value right up here on the Archer Tower, so that's where we're going first. We're just going to toss some Battlecopter right there immediately. And if I can maybe get him to use its ability onto the Battle Builder Hall, that might damage up the roaster. I don't know, to be honest, but I mean, I think it will. And then Battlecopter can take out the roaster without getting a range of the Air Expo. That would be pretty huge. And then our next step here is just dropping the dropship. So we just want to open up as many good walls. The Mega Tesla, huge. We got to get that wall open no matter what. Lowered Archer Tower, and then the Giant Cannon, kind of huge. I mean, this wall right there, huge. We got to get that wall down. So anyway, why don't we go ahead? We don't really even need our Battlecopter to hit the roaster here. We just need the Battlecopter to take it out. So look, Battlecopter is going to take down the roaster for us. And now we should probably start kind of strategizing. Let's start in one P.E.K.K.A. in the corner just so we don't run out of time. And then we're going to put one dropship onto the Mega Tesla. There's probably going to be a Tesla over there. And even though I know that, I'm not super... Look, there's a Tesla popping up. I'm not scared. Let's go P.E.K.K.A. ability. Not a great P.E.K.K.A. ability. Whatever. We do still open up the Mega Tesla. I don't even care if that P.E.K.K.A. survives. As long as we just like get down the Mega Tesla like we did just there, that's all that really matters to me. And now we'll just use 2 more dropship abilities, and this base is done. I don't need to do anything else because we have the 2 P.E.K.K.A.s walking in there, Battlecopter ability, just for fun. I don't need to really use it, but I'm going to use it. And now you see, the base is completely taken down. I got trapped. I lost a P.E.K.K.A. really early. I ran into Teslas. It doesn't matter. There's 2 Teslas on the back end. It doesn't matter. The base is just done. This doesn't matter. This is a maxed out base here. And it's getting taken out with dropships and P.E.K.K.A.s. Like, my biggest concern here isn't at all that I'm not going to get this down. It's more about time. Because obviously we got 2 P.E.K.K.A.s here, both with their ability. That's just absolutely insane that both of them have their ability still too. And then we're not even going to run out of time. P.E.K.K.A.s make it to the other side of the base. That is how easy it is. Now the second stage is surprisingly a little bit harder. I'll go walk through that with you, I guess. Okay, so I mean, this is a pretty common second stage here. We're just going to put 2 cannon carts up at the top. This one's done. So now this means I don't really need to focus on explaining because there's not going to be much more skill in this attack. So I guess the cannon carts are kind of like skillful, but it doesn't justify how easy the strategy is. But yeah, that's the issue, is how do you balance a game and make everyone happy? Because it's true, the top players are kind of the minority here. No, like, there's how many people? I think like 1,000 people who are over 5,500 trophies or something, and that is ridiculously low. In the home village, every 100 trophies, there's like 10, 20, 30, 40,000 people. In the builder base, it's just like it's nothing. So look, cannon cart should go towards the mortar. That is absolutely beautiful. You love to see that. Cannon cart's taking down the mortar all by himself. Anyway, so there are so few top players here, but they can't just be ignored. But there's so many players who are having such a hard time with the builder base already, you can't just make it harder on them. So how do you balance the game? This is like such a weird conundrum. I don't really even know how I got onto this topic, I'll be honest. But I do agree. I think the builder base isn't really being played the way it was supposed to be, because you can change out troops in the middle of an attack, yet everyone still uses the same 2 or 3 armies. Most people have one army, they one trick. I even have one army. I usually one trick. Right now, that's P.E.K.K.A. dropship, and I hate it. I hate having to use P.E.K.K.A. dropship. It's so not mind-numbing, but mind-numbing, because you're just doing the same thing over and over again. I like how hands-on cannon carts were, but they're not really able to be played anymore because the baby dragon nerf. Baby dragons, they were pretty much just as skillless as everything right now. I mean, it's not like the baby dragons are much more skill. And minions and dropships, minions and dropships are probably like the easiest out of all of them. They're the least skillful. But it's just, I think builder base has so much more potential than just being another base who use the same attack strategy in every single attack. So I guess this is just my 2 cents there. I'm not really sure how I got on this topic, and I realize I talked about it the entire video. So let me know your thoughts, I guess. What do you guys think about it? Should the builder base still be this easy, or should it be made harder? Or how do you make it harder, but only for the top players? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're interested in joining my Discord, that will be in the description. And if you're interested in stealing my base, yep, that's right. It is currently my active layout. So feel free, you can go ahead and steal it if you want. I don't really know if it's good or not. I'll be honest, I stole it, but you're welcome. I'll see you guys later.